up in Reading, PA, woo, on a block with a lot of kids, which meant there was always a lot going on and someone to play with. And it was a lot of fun to grow up there. So much fun that other kids from other blocks would come hang out where we were to have fun. And when you put kids all together, like, some shit happens. And I remember hanging out once on my friend Elise's porch, and this guy, Lewis, just leaned up real cool against the railing and just tumbled over the side. And it was a wonky railing, and we all knew it. And so when he fell, we all, like, laughed at his stupid ass, because he did that to himself. But we grew up on a hill, so the houses were built very tall, and the alleyways were high off the ground. You had to go up a stoop, and then there was a landing, another stoop, and then the porch. But he was, like, wiggling around, so we knew he was okay. So when he called his dad and said, "Can you come pick me up?" and his dad said, "Just walk your ass home," we laughed until we cried. And we played all sorts of games. We played hide and go seek, monkey in the middle, freeze tag, TV tag, regular tag with walking bases for the kids who didn't want to run. Kickball was a favorite. Second base was like an old rat's nest. And the best game we played, and the most terrifying, scary game I've ever played, was called Monsters in the Alley. And I don't think it's a normal game. I've never heard anyone else talk about it except kids from 4th Street. And Monsters in the Alley went like this. All the little kids would sit on a stoop, and the big kids would put us to sleep, and we would close our eyes. Moments later, they'd yell, "Wake up, little kids." And we'd open our eyes, and we'd go hunting for monsters. And so we would choose an alley at random on the block to walk bravely down. And initially, it's not that scary. The first half of the alley isn't covered. That's the landing part, and the street light is still on it. But as soon as you entered the part where the houses are conjoined, because they were row homes, it was pitch black. And nothing in my childhood life ever scared me more than taking a step under Tilly's alleyway. And we would be in a line of young kids just gripping the neck of the friend in front of you, cold sweat, heart racing. You'd touch the sides of the damp cement, feeling your way toward the back. You'd pause, your heart pounding, listening for a clue that the monster was in this alley. The big kid in the back would yell, "Keep it moving!" And you just push your friend forward. The poor sucker in the front, just rigid, like, And we get to the part where there was a door in the alley that would lead into the house, and there's like a little divot, and that's where the monsters would hide. And that poor sucker in the front would reach blindly to the side, shaking. And if he were lucky, nothing would grab him. And you just feel like immense relief that you feel after something scary happened. But if you weren't lucky, some big kid motherfucker would just grab your shoulders and yell, "Rah!" And they'd all come running, and we would turn around barreling, and that kid that you had just like been like your best friend and like just walking into death with them would you just like shove them against the cement wall, like, "Get out of my way!" And you just dart, like barrel your ass as fast as you could back to the stoop, because to win the game, you needed to get back to that stoop with your eyes closed so you could be asleep, and the monsters would disappear. Who taught us that game? That's what I want to really know. I don't know where it originated. But, you know, fears change as you grow older. Eventually, I wasn't afraid of the monsters in the alley because I was a big kid, and I was, you know, taking little kids to the back to scare them. And then I grew a little older, and I didn't look at that dark, pitch black, ivy-covered alley with fear. I looked at it with lust, like, that's where I'm gonna bring my boyfriend to make out with him. That's a different kind of monster. And then eventually, I forgot it all together and I moved to Philly, and I was spending a productive Sunday afternoon shopping at Body Central, trying on several different spandex outfits, when I got the text message from my mother that my dad was being rushed in helicopter to the hospital. And what had happened was she was cooking falafel in the kitchen when she heard some scary shit going on our porch. And when she came out, our next door neighbor, like I said, our houses were conjoined, had reached over the porch alleyway gap to shake my dad's hand, and had, in a moment of being a sociopath, lifted my dad above his head and flung him the 15 feet onto the cement. And my mom got out there just in time to see him hit the ground. And she said that was the scariest moment of her life. And when she told me that via text message, in Body Central, like holding like 2 different spandex outfits, that was maybe one of the scariest moments of my life, because I didn't know what was coming next. And it's so interesting. When I go back to home now, like a lot of the houses are empty. It's like a little bit more of a decrepit place to be than it was when it was that vibrant, fun, silly place where I grew up. And the lesson there, when I think about this sort of montage and collage of memories attached to this single alleyway, is that, and I know that this is more depressing than a lot of the stories, is that maybe one of the scariest parts of life is that there is always change. And maybe the lesson is that instead of running from it, you should run towards it. So that's the end.